Hey, what's up, noobs? It's the Dead Noob, and I'm back for a little bit of time. I'm trying to set a schedule that allows me to create and release videos, but I'm finding it difficult to manage. So I'll release content as I can. The YouTube algorithm absolutely loves consistency, and everyone should. But I'm not feeding my family with YouTube money, all $0 that I make from here. We would definitely starve to death. So I'm just going to go ahead and play things by ear and just shoot from the hip. So in this video, I want to discuss the top changes that I would like to see in Gray Zone prior to full release. Now, if they do adjustments afterwards, that's perfectly fine too. But it's just kind of like what I'm playing, what I'm seeing, and some of the changes that I would love to see happen. That's not saying that the game's not great. It's just what I would like to see. All right, so here's the bottom line up front. I know some channels say that gamers want this and gamers want that. And, hey, my community would like X, Y, and Z. But I'm not going to do that because it's disingenuous and a flat-out lie to pretend to represent the majority with less than 5% of players even saying anything at all. So how do they know everybody is invested in X, Y, or Z? They don't. So I'll present my wish list for Gray Zone. Arguably the best tactical shooter short of Squad or Bellum. And Bellum's not even fully released yet because Gray Zone's a little bit faster in the gameplay than Squad or Bellum. And that's the reason why. Some of the wish list is upgrades and some are additions. I will lead in with this. This is a pre-alpha game and I know they are working on things currently as well as their roadmap for the future. Probably one of the better dev groups, in my opinion, to have an open and honest communication with their player base. But enough rambling and no more waiting. So let's go. And this is in no particular order. Number 1, audio. Now this one is multi-layered. The sound in Gray Zone is immersive and the frogs, oh my God, the fucking frogs. So much to a point that the devs even added a quip from one of the guards about them. But that's not the thing. It's the eating. Jesus Christ, chew with your fucking mouth closed. You sound like a fucking Neanderthal. The eating and drinking sounds make me crash out, almost to the point where I let the character die. I hate that sound so much. I would love to have the sound either muffled or just flat out removed. And possibly an option in the sound menu. Speaking of the audio menu, it looks like a barren wasteland. Options in Gray Zone audio are pretty much null and void. Another one, and I hope this really gets the attention, is the directional audio. The volumetric sound is not multi-directional. It could greatly benefit the game, and the gunfights over open field, hills, and urban areas should sound extremely different and come at you that way specifically, but they don't. They're all the same at this point. And it's not all bad. I know it's a pre-alpha, and I believe the audio in Gray Zone is top-notch. It just needs some tweaks. Well, from my perspective anyway. Number 2, optics. I love that the devs really paid attention in school, because not all optics are NVG compatible. And the optics even tell you if they are. Specifically, if you look in the description. That being said, how about an offset rail attachment so you can run dual optics or for day and night ops? Or just run M-bus offsets. I mean, there's options for that. And if you look right here, there's even a mechanic for it. So it's almost like they're planning for it. But, we'll see. I specifically have a platform in my safe right now for sticky situations, CQB, and home defense to include a little bit something for the distance. And another thing, and I'll probably hit this again, the wear on the gun is visible, and the optics degrade as the gun ages. You can see cracks or smudges or lower visibility quality. Great immersion. Absolute perfection, in my opinion. Number 3, and this one probably is going to get a lot of attention. Stamina. Holy shit. These operators have got to be the weakest motherfuckers in the world. They can barely jog 100 meters. And when they do, they sound like they're straight up dying. And God forbid you jump once. just one damn time. Now, I understand that pacing is a thing. With some tasks that are out more than 800 meters, the run function, it's taxing, and it really costs you on playability. Now, I'm down for stamina drain while under load or jog versus sprint, when the sprint gets you about 10 to 15 meters before your character dry heaves like he just puked up some shots of warm Rupple mints. And ADS stamina is probably the worst in gaming. They probably should have done a little bit more research on this one. The breath mechanic is understandable to a degree, but the ADS stamina is one thing that is a common gripe of the crew that I run with. A hydration issue. Oh boy. Where the fuck do I begin here? If you're flying over to the other side of the map from your COP or FOB or base or whatever the hell you want to call it, you will need water just to get there in a 2 to 3 minute flight. Why? Why is this a thing? Is this dude sucking creatine with every meal? I don't get it. Now, I've served in deserts, jungles, and never had to suck so much water in my life. I mean, this dude has to be hyponatremic. Well, if you don't know what that means, Google it. Number 4, vendor tasks. Now, they just went through an update where they kind of got into a little bit of this. But here we go. And again, I know this is a pre-alpha. It was easier to get Handshake, Gunny, and Lab Rat to level 4, and it's a serious grind to get Artisan, Turncoat, and Banshee. I'm not even going to start on Vulture. No. And I only got him to level 3 at this point. Yeah, I said 3, and I'm already level 31. And the reason, well, there's so many limited tasks. In Banshee's case, find me this and find me that tasks. And they offer scrap for RP. Limited tasks make the game grindy and dissuade player retention and replayability. It's not game breaking, it just needs some attention in my opinion. Repetitive tasks. I know the devs have addressed this and they're looking into it, they're working on it. But the tasks just never stop coming. Looking at you, Handshake, just you too, Gunny. Vulture, like I said, there's the secret vendor out there, and that's a great mechanic in the game. But the reputation gained for this guy is pretty much just sell him stuff. Otherwise, you don't gain anything from him. But if you did do the quest and you get that AK-308, it's worth every penny and all of the struggle. I really like the mechanic of the secret vendor and the way you have to gain rep. It adds another element. And along with all this, the mechanics that are enjoyable, like tasks that have multiple outcomes, making the vendor happy and, pissing somebody else off. I like that dichotomy within your own camp, because loyalty should be rewarded and betrayal should be punished. I love that. And once again, I'm going to say this multiple times throughout this. It is a pre-alpha. That being said, more guns. I mean, more. Did I say more? Let me say it one more time. More. And it's not an easy ask, and I get it. I'm happy with the majority of the guns that are in the game now. But let's be honest here. A 50 BMG or a 338 Lapua, I would love for those to be added to the game because, fuck your armor. Sniping with a 7.62x54 can still get sparks on some enemies because that's realism. Not one bit. Never seen sparks coming off of an enemy. Machinery and equipment? Absolutely. But never off a chest piece. Dumping 5 or 6 rounds into an enemy with no armor, that's not fun. It's not even difficult. It's just redundant. And one thing that a lot of game developers negate is kinetic energy at point of impact. Just because you didn't penetrate the armor doesn't mean that dude is getting up anytime soon. You hit a motherfucker in the chest at 200 meters with a 7.62x51, I promise you, he won't be sucking air very well, and it'll take him out of the fight for a few minutes, at the minimum. And ricochet off one dude's helmet, and CTE will be the least of his worries. Add that, but make it positive and negative to boot. Get your bell rocked, and get the disoriented effect. For a bit, making vision and equilibrium difficult. Catch one of the plates and it shortens your breath and removes your hold breath mechanic for a little while. Especially on the weapon sway, it could be a little bit of accuracy. I'm just giving possibilities here. But that's me. If I'm going to present problems, I try my best to present solutions too. unless I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about and don't know what I'm doing. Then I'll just shut the fuck up. Number 5, and this one really hits home. Oh, please. The artillery. I am, or was, an artilleryman. And the mortars, not an opinion, it's a fact, in this game, are weak as fuck. I can't express this enough. Each grid square in GZW is 100 by 100. And the mortars in the game are 120 millimeters. So by the measurements, I could use one mortar to fuck up one grid square, technically. It has a 30-meter instant kill radius and a 100-meter incapacitation radius. Or at least you're going to get your bell rocked a little bit. So why do I have to drop one right on the top of the enemy's head in order to get a kill? Please, make it make sense here. Here's a fix for this one. You could just change the mortars from 120 millimeters to 60 millimeters. That would kind of alleviate some of the problems. But if you do that, you're going to have to shorten ranges or add ranges. Actually, your ranges are way wrong. 120 millimeter mortars, you could pretty much range that entire map. It's really not that far. What, I think it's 6K? That's really not that far. 120 millimeters can range that entire island easily. And that's why I said you could probably drop it down to 60 millimeters. 60 millimeter mortars have an effective range of up to about 30 meters, which is what the 120s in the game look like. Well, at least in my opinion, that's what they look like. They're actually having less of explosive value. Then each call for fire should have accurate call for fire times. As a former FDC chief, battalion FDC chief, and Devardi FDC chief, not to mention digital master gunner, if my FDC laid on a known point and gets a shift from known point fire mission, and the time of flight plus the processing time is greater than 2 minutes, y'all getting fired. I'm telling you now, I'm firing every fucking one of you. And it's mortars. It's not even a 777 or a 109. It's a fucking mortar. And no, not you 105s, you're toys to me. That's not even real artillery to me. This is probably my greatest complaint. It fits squarely in my wheelhouse. I'm trying not to crash out here. So I'll move along. Number 6 is saturation. This one is difficult and stems from tasks that are not just hard to get scrapped because of the other functions. Sometimes your own faction is cutting you off at the knees. So what am I saying here? You ever get a task to kill a boss in Fort Nerith, or any other area for that matter, just to get on the X and find out that another team has already leveled the area and looted everything in sight? It happens to me all the damn time. And it's massively frustrating. 7 trips to Fort Nerith and shit for success. I can't kill the commander to get to the ops room key, one of the better loot rooms in the Grey Zone, in my opinion. And it also has a task in there. I have literally had competition for the boss with 2 other teams, hearing them in proxy chat saying, I need the boss kill for a task. Like, no shit, bro. We're all here for the same fucking thing. One way to fix this is faction-only servers. I know that's a huge ask and isn't very practical probably, but it could relieve task stress. Otherwise, my ass is up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning trying to complete the task solo. And yes, I checked the map for blue forces in the area. It doesn't illustrate the other 2 factions, so it's a 30% chance that he's ready to be aggressed or he's already been killed. Sometimes he doesn't even fucking spawn in there. Once again, it feeds into mission saturation and player density on each server. Number 7. PvP versus PvE. I am ready to read the comment section on this one. One thing that almost every game does wrong, every game that offers PvP and PvE that is, and Grey Zone is no exception here, is the separation of mechanics for both PvE and PvP. Mortars in Grey Zone, even weak as they are, should not be an option in PvP, other than smoke or illume rounds, or maybe some other terrain deniability like chemical. And that would be rather useful and cool to see, on PvP and PvE. But again, 120 millimeters or 60 millimeter data, which one are we using here? Yeah, I promised not to bring that back up again, didn't I? Okay, I'll move along. It's a stamina drain, as it would be okay for PvP, but absolutely atrocious for PvE. The PvP is getting its own vendor, that it's just PvP related gear, such as Tarkov, they do that. It wouldn't make me mad unless all of the meta gear is locked behind the PvP wall, then like Tarkov does, then it's kind of frustrating. Your gear loadouts should be separated between PvP and PvE. You get your own PvP character and your own PvE character, and they don't know each other, and you can't cross-load gear from one to the other. I think that would be an awesome addition. Leave a comment down below. I'm pretty sure this is going to get a lot of attention. Number 8, weapon degradation. All weapons do degrade over time and use. However, the rate at which they degrade in gray zones seems to be accelerated, well beyond standard timeframes. Now, before anyone starts freaking out, there are things that the devs do to create immersion and counterbalance that with timed elements that generally add or subtract gameplay and the pacing of things. It would be better if they would look at just the standards for each one of these platforms and weapon systems and balance that time out in the game to uses in the real world. This would balance the need to repair or replace each platform. Now, I'm not hitting on the not enough weapons bandwagon because it's a pre-alpha phase and I expect that will probably be expanded over time. But what I'm saying here is that the need to repair or need to replace shouldn't be, 1 game day, 2 game days, you need to replace your weapon. I went on 10 missions, dude. Why the fuck is it already like straight garbage? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, weapon degradation. My opinion needs to be adjusted. Number 9, the environment. As good as the maps are, and the weather effects are amazing, in my opinion, and they really add to the immersion of the game. One thing that strikes me as odd is that the lighting, it seems to be off. Now, I don't know if that's a dev problem or a UE5 problem. Maybe the devs aren't using UE5 properly, or maybe UE5 just isn't fitting in. Something's not right here. But when an area is illuminated by the street lights, the lamps or lanterns, and the AI little lamps that they carry on their chest, you can quickly identify the target from just about any range, which is perfect. But as soon as you ADS, that level of illumination evaporates and you're looking at pure darkness. And I'm unsure if this is intentional or are they working on this? I'm not. Now, I know someone will blame UE5 and other will blame the devs. Like I just kind of cursed there. In either case, I don't really fucking care. Just fix the fucking shit. That's all it is. Some zones need an LZ, or you need to move some of the LZs so that tasks can be reached inside of the 1,000 meters. Yeah, and I'm talking, because I'm a Mithras person, so I'm all the way down to the south end of the map, but that upper northwest section, you land at 1 LZ, and you are going to be trekking for about 1,200 meters to get anything fucking done over there. So, and if anybody knows, you know. Number 10, team tasks and raids. Now, I know they just did the update for the LTCs, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Unlike other extraction shooters, and I believe that Gray Zone is not really a true extraction shooter, but more of a tactical open world shooter, very similar to Ghost Recon Wildlands and Breakpoint. But the devs have it listed as an extraction shooter, so we'll go with that. Now, with that being said, Gray Zone has the capability to open up to the raid style of tasks versus missions similar to that of the Division 2, with off-map raid-style tasks that require a 4-man team or even a 2 4-man team, working as a group to finish required sniping, medic, gunner, or even eventually heavy weapons tasks. Think more like Ghost Recon Breakpoint-style raid, but with Gray Zone mechanics and its unique playstyle. I believe that that would be an amazing addition, specifically for us PvE guys. Now, PvP, hey, maybe you could have all 3 teams fighting for the same thing versus a control point type of situation. I don't know. I'll leave that to the devs. So as I close, let me say that I honestly love this game. And there are points that I would just like to see adjusted or added as a fan of the game. And I'm not shitting on Gray Zone. To the contrary, I'm extremely enthusiastic about the future. And the devs are a godsend from the AAA shitbags that don't listen to their player base. Studios like Activision and Electronic Arts. The fucking suits in control have never been gamers or devs. Just investor mouthpieces is all they are. But another time or place for that, maybe. But as the game gets closer and closer to full release, I fully expect that all of the grind and work that everybody's been putting in will be for naught. And everyone will get reset to level 1. And the vendor's rep will crash like a 1920 stock. But before that happens, it would be great to have some adjustments and additions to the game. While they will hopefully open the map up to a larger world in time, I'm not asking for it now, I'm just saying years down the road, or even a year down the road, that would be awesome. And it would be telling to see what, if any of these points, get addressed in the future. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it up to the comments section. Which one of these points makes sense to you? Hey, what would you add or subtract? Is there anything that I said that you would say, hey, maybe not that, but this? Leave it down in the comment section. I would greatly appreciate it. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. So like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content from guess who? The Dead Noob. All right, gentlemen, be good or be good at it.